that also, I just want to point out where our chat is. And if you go into our chat, I'm just going to type good morning so you can see that. Please post questions here. I don't think we have a large group, so if you did want to unmic yourself, I'm actually going to mute everybody right now. But there's not a big group, so you can always take yourself off mic and just ask me a question as we're going through today's presentation. So welcome to Sway. It is a great tool. I think you're going to like it a lot. I'm usually a PowerPoint person, but the more I use Sway, the more I like it. So I did today's entire presentation is a Sway, and I did put a link for it, so you have access to this and all the resources that I've embedded in here. So let me just introduce myself a little bit. My name's Jennifer Jury. I was an elementary school teacher for 10 years before becoming a Microsoft Learning Consultant. Here is my email address. This is called a stack in a Sway, where you can stack images and text. This is a notebook I've created for you. These are live links. So if you clicked on this, it would open up the notebook of information. Here is my Twitter. Microsoft is always putting out new features, new add-ons, so I really like to keep everybody up to date with the new features are, so please feel free to follow me, and here's my LinkedIn information. Would love for you to connect. So Sway, one of the things that they like to express that Sway is so good with and so good about is letting students show their voice. So what is student voice in education? It is their beliefs, it's their backgrounds, it's their cultural values. And it really lets students express those in a very unique way. And it gives them choice. And one of the great parts right now, especially, it sometimes can be a difficulty, but I think Sway helps with this, is getting to know your students and getting to know their personalities and what they're like during remote learning. And one of the things that Sway does nicely is, because students are creating and putting things together in very unique ways using Sway, you get to know them and you get to know their personalities and how they view things. So it really empowers students to express their voice. It's a digital storytelling resource, but as much as the kids have a voice, so do our communities and our schools. So Sway could be really good use, and it's a really great dynamic, visual, beautiful platform to share that voice. So I have a little 2-minute video that I'd like to, I think, better expresses what Sway is. And it'll show you how an adult uses Sway for business and how a child is using Sway.
This is our most popular exhibit. Come a little bit closer so you can see this amazing creature called Squishies.
You have ideas and projects that are interesting, meaningful, powerful. Now there's a new app that helps you easily pull together, format, and showcase them, while still giving you freedom to adjust the design and reflect your own unique style. Introducing Sway, a completely new way to express yourself. Search a wide variety of sources without leaving the app. And simply drag and drop your content directly into Sway. Sway gives you the power to assemble and present your ideas, all just a tap or click away. It lets you create a polished, living, breathing canvas of your ideas on the web, using a variety of multimedia that you bring together with ease. Select a layout and style for your content, or let Sway do it automatically by showing suggested combinations for you to consider and change at any time. Seamlessly integrated with the web, social networks, and your devices, your creation can be shared as effortlessly as sending a link. It will look great on any screen. Sway lets you easily pull together, format, and share your ideas on any device from anywhere. It's an all-in-one, elegant solution that's unlike anything you've used before. reimagine the way your ideas come to life.
So you can see how dynamic it is, and it can be used in so many different ways. So some teachers have even used it for doing their sub notes and lesson plans, and they can leave a sway with everything that their class needs built in there, and the sub could just go through the sway. It can be used for back to school nights. It can be used for newsletters. It has so many great uses. I'm going to show you how a school is using it. They partnered with Microsoft to do a program to teach kids Sway and to use it to broadcast and do reports. So they're going to show you what a dynamic, you can see another stack here, interactive canvas. So it really is a blank canvas that you can embed anything on. You've seen right now we've embed images, videos, text, backgrounds have been changing. So there's so much you can do with it. And I'm going to show you how to do everything. We're going to go in, once you kind of get that overall big picture, I'll take you through and show you how to create these. So this is another great use for Sway.
We're dealing with the first kind of group of students who are digital natives now. Their entire world is completely shaped by the internet and the sort of devices they use to interact with it.
We have a mission of helping kids use technology in a way that's really thoughtful and important and enhances their storytelling.
We want kids to know that their voice is important, that their perspective is important, that what they experience and what they know is important. Sway is helping students become active producers of their own original content.
It allows them to elaborate on things in a way that maybe just writing a story on a piece of paper wouldn't.
They can add pictures, they can add movies, they can really envision the best way to tell their story.
Sway allowed us to kind of have multiple groups working on the same Sway at the same time. One group is kind of typing in the news, another group is sketching out an illustration for that, while a third group might be recording a really quick little green screen news update.
It's very instinctive to them to sort of drag and drop things. They just cook through it and it makes sense. They're like, okay, I'm going to type in this thing and then I can search for a picture over here and put that in. And it enables them to think about storytelling as a process as opposed to just one thing that they're doing with writing.
They would start using it just to reflect what was interesting to them and important and relevant to them. I would just see that manifest itself in the way that they were putting little details inside Sway. Once they had kind of enough of the story down, was to have them start remixing it or looking at different designs and styles. The kids love to see whatever they've made right away. And they like to kind of do a quick check, evaluate it, they immediately want to share it. Look at what I just made.
That gives them a certain confidence and a certain power that I think a lot of even adults don't have. They're learning without realizing they're learning, which is the gold standard.
That's when technology is transformational. Microsoft's sponsorship of BFI's program allowed us to take those core skills of reading and writing and creative storytelling and translate it into a digital space.
This has been phenomenal for us. It builds extraordinary confidence in kids and makes them take their own stories and thoughts seriously and much more eager to share them, and also much more eager to absorb the stories of other kids that are with them. And that, to me, is the perfect world where we're really integrating other people's stories into how we see the world. Sway's helping do that.
So one of the things you heard them say is the kids get so excited because it really takes their simple work or their simple drawings and text, and it really creates this polished, put together presentation, and they feel so proud about it. And they're so excited to share it because it really gives it a great look. And Sway, with its built-in design technology, does a lot of the work for the kids. So their content really becomes the focus. So here is one of the options that you have for adding. So when you do a grouping of pictures, I showed you a stacking. At the beginning, you saw the stacking with the words. This is called a slideshow. So as you click on the different pictures, they become the main picture at the top. This is another option you have with creating a sway, is a comparison. It's another way of doing a grouping. You can embed 3D models, and I'm taking a chance. Depends on bandwidth. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't, and it didn't work. So sorry, that's more my end of why it's not working. And let me see if I can keep scrolling here without it. Oh no, it froze on me. Okay, so I have to tell you, it's one of these things that 4 out of 5 times it works beautifully for me, and every once in a while it doesn't. So let me get out of this, and I'm going to go back in to our sway. Let me get the sway back open. Oh, hang on. Oh, now my sway won't open at all. All right, we're going in the back door. So I was going to show you this in a couple minutes, but we're going to start this ahead of time. Office.com. Technology is wonderful. 95% of the time it works, but sometime when you're presenting, it's when it falls apart. So this is Office.com is the best way. I'm going to back up. I would do that really quick for you. You can see this is a great way to access the Microsoft Office suites of products. It is, you just need your school email, and that is your subscription to the Office.com suites. So if you don't have Office downloaded on a computer, this is the perfect way to reach all of the apps and tools. So here you can see Sway. We'll go in this way, and we'll open it up, and here we go. So while we're here, I want to show you something really neat. One of the things that Sway does is as you create heading cards, it creates a table of contents. So I can jump right to where we are in that presentation and where we left off and get right back into it. So the reason I tried the 3D model today was I have a new Ethernet cable and I was super excited about it. And I thought, oh, the Ethernet cable will make the difference and it won't freeze on me. But, you know, so the thing I really like too about what you embed in a Sway is it has dimension. They're not static. They're interactive. Here's a sound clip. You can embed tweets and other multimedia into them. And then what else is really neat is you don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you have Word documents that you like, you can include those and incorporate them right in here. You can incorporate Excel documents, PowerPoint presentations. You can even embed forms. So this is where I'm saying if you want to use it for your subnotes, you could include a video. You can include a presentation and a form. And you can almost have your entire lesson laid out for a sub right in this way. How does it do it? It has that built-in design engine. So when you see in a minute when we launch it, it'll do all the design elements for you, or you could customize them. The other great thing is it doesn't matter what device you're on, it looks great, whether it's a phone, a tablet, or a desktop. It'll look good across all platforms, and it will show you what it will look like across all platforms. So you can adjust it if you're not happy with the way the image is performing. And then here I've included some examples. Here is used for an art portfolio. Here, second graders did a project on cows. I'm going to show you that one. But you'll have access to all of these. So you can see it was done as a group project. They included an agenda. They have photos, text boxes. They even included a little whimsy with the background. Here are their heading cards, images with text. They even have some videos in here. So they did a really great job, and they even included some resources towards the bottom and fun facts. So very fun. You can see the kids enjoyed it. You can see their love of it. Here are Newton's laws and motions and sports, and you had a bunch of different students do a showcase. So that's also there for you too. So what are they saying about Sway? Teachers say students stay engaged, they're focused, more time learning, and this really strengthens their self-esteem. They're really proud of their finished product. What students are saying, Sway is fun, Sway is easy, it's fast, and they're proud, and they can't wait to show their families. So that's a pretty good thing for what we'd like our students to walk away feeling about Sway. I included this in the Sway. It's a really awesome how-to. So this is going to be a huge resource for you when you go back and want to use Sway. So let me show you what's in here before we get started with how to create. Again, you have that table of contents. So you can go through here, switching layouts. Do you want a vertical or a horizontal? Styles? So you have all different styles. And there are 7 different styles to choose from. And what I want to point out with the style cards is it's in the details. So how things are set up, let me show you down here a little better. You can see whether something's left aligned or right aligned or centered. So see how that's centered. You can see what it's going to look like. So pay attention to those details in here, and it will show you where the text is going to be, if the text is going to be centered or the text is going to be left aligned. All those details are going to be in the cards when you're choosing your setup. You can customize your styles and go through and pick exactly what you want. If you aren't sure, you could press the remix button and Sway will choose for you. So that's always a really fun and cool option. They suggest when you're creating Sways to use photographs. They tend to show up much better than drawings, although you can include drawings. So these are, I'm going to skip through. This is what I was saying with photos and how they'll show you the 3 different devices, and you can pick what your focal point is. So if you look down here on the tablet version and you're not happy, what you do is you click a focus spot and it will adjust the picture so that it shows up the correct way in all different platforms. We talked about videos being embedded. So you have, if you wanted to look at this, see how the text scrolls but the picture stays? This tells you exactly how to do it in here. So if you're like, I really love that option, how do I do that? This is going to be your how-to guide. So for example here with this one, and if you want the text then to roll over the picture, what you need to do here is fully emphasize an image and then follow it with your text card. So this is going to be your main how-to, and it's going to really show you what you need to do. So getting started, as we talked about this already, we kind of skipped ahead, and going to office.com to launch your Sway. I'm going to see if I can close that window. I'm going to launch it. I want to show you how it looks in 2 different places. So when we went to office.com and we launched our Sway, you're going to have the same things in the desktop version. They're just going to look different. So you have your blank starting from a document. You have tons of templates. You see all the ones I've been recently either worked on or viewed. And then one nice thing that they always do is they give you example Sways at the bottom. And what's really cool is that they are always changing. So anytime I go into Sway, I always like to check it out because there's always new and different ones. If you want to launch Sway from your desktop, you can do it and it's going to look a little bit different. So when you go in, we'll go up here to Sway because I went back and launched our original thing. Your screen looks a little bit different and it's still the same, and the desktop version really is just housing the web version. It just starts in a little bit of a different format. I like this format. I think it's easier for me to present to you, so I'm going to present from this format. When you want to look at the 3 different ways to start, create a new Sway. You'll start here. Here is a title card. So this will be your heading. You can, let's just say you're going to do trees. If I do this, so do I want another heading card? Maybe I want an image. If I do that, just because I type the word trees here, it's already going to start generating suggestions. So I want to click on trees. One of the things that you want to look at for when you're adding pictures, you want to see this Creative Commons only. That way you don't have to worry about copyright laws. Everything will be a safe image. You won't have to worry about it. So I'm going to click here for that. I'm going to add it, or I can just drag it over. Here are those emphasize options that we had talked about. So I can change how that, if it's a small image, if it's a large image. I'm just trying to give you a couple things so we can look at it. So if you want to see what we've created, you go up to play. Now it's chosen a format for me. If I like it, great, I can keep going with it. Now I can go back in here and to edit, and I can change how things look. And maybe I want trees to be large. I want to change the design. So there's trees. It made it such a large image. If I want to go into styles, so I went from design to styles, this is where you're going to get those options that I was showing you in the how-to. It's right now set to vertical. I can change it to horizontal and it'll change that layout, and you can see how it changed that image. I actually think the horizontal fits what I'm doing and fits the images better, so I think I'll stick with that. I can change it, or I can let it remix and see what it'll come up with and see if I like that any better. I can remix it again and try that, and it'll show you which one it's in. Or I can go, if I'm not happy with it and I want to go back to an original one, I can go back and just click the back. So it gives you some great options. Here's all your choices. As you can see, they get a little more whimsical as it goes down. Let's go back to our sway and go back to our storyline. So when you're ready to add more, you have some choices. So the suggestion ones are the ones that get used the most. And you can add a heading. That's what's going to give you that table of contents. So every heading is going to add a new chapter to your table of contents. Text, it's just like you would think it is. It's just adding words and text. Images, you have options that you can pull from here. You can also add different media, videos, audio, and then here's the groupings. So this is what we talked about. It will automatically do it for you. It'll create a grid, a comparison, a stack, or a slideshow. And those were ones I showed you earlier. So if I want to, I can move these around. If I want to put this up here, hang on, let me drag it. Yep, there we go. I'm going to put this up here, and maybe we're going to create some more images. I want to go back and I want to add an image. Maybe we're going to add another kind of tree. I'll drag that over, and I can add, these are now an automatic grouping. If I want to change the group type, I can go over here, make them a stack, a grid, a slideshow. I could add more images or less. So that is just the basics of how to get started. I love, this is my favorite one, starting from a topic. So this is a true story. My daughter comes to me and she says, Mom, I've got to do a presentation on aqueducts. I was like, okay, are you allowed to use Sway? She's like, I'll check with my teacher. We got it cleared. So I said, all right, let's check out aqueducts. So I type in aqueducts and we get this. And I said, what kind of aqueducts are you doing? She said, Roman aqueducts. I was like, perfect. They couldn't be any better. And we go in and it creates this for us. Now, if you have kids or you are teaching children that are of age that are doing reports, you know the amount of time that gets spent on finding images, on setting layouts, or sometimes you just have those kids that need a little bit extra. Well, this gives them an outline. And when you're in an educational tenant, it will give them suggestions too. You could include information about, and it lists these aqueducts. Here is Roman aqueducts in the Roman Empire. You might want information about that. And it gives them suggestions. But what's really great is they can't just copy and paste that work for themselves when you're in an educational tenant. Then also here at the bottom, it includes all the references. So what's nice is instead of the kids spending hours finding images, they have it there. The references are there. Now, if they want to add stuff, look what it's going to do for them. It knows the context. It knows you're working on Roman aqueducts. It's already going to filter it. Creative Commons, you could have images, you could have videos, and it saves so much time on digging around the internet, and it puts it in this safe, secure format for the kids to include in their presentations. So I think that's a great resource for teaching kids how to create presentations. I think it's a great resource for those kids that just need a little extra help. So it depends. You can really tailor it to your kids' diverse needs. Then the other one is how to start from a document. And starting from a document, I actually have a really great video, a 2-minute video that will show that. You can see here, you can see here how I've got my group in Stack. We'll go up here to play. I'll go to our table of contents, and I'm going to show you how to change a Word document into a sway. So some teachers oh my goodness, we're being finicky today. I think I need to scroll down. I'm too close to the line. What some teachers will do, and I think this is a great idea, is that they will have the kids put all the content in a Word document. And then they will use the transform button, and what it does is it will show you in this video, it'll transform it into a sway. So all that content is there. The content was the focus, and then the kids get to have a little fun with the design. So let me show you what that's going to look like. Let me scroll down a little more so it's a better picture for you.
I'll be changing a Word document into a beautiful web page in a couple of clicks. So I'm going to open my Amazon document. Now, if you go to the File menu, you might not have noticed there's a Transform button here. I'm going to click that and transform to web page. Now, here are the options I have. There are many different templates. So I can click and preview, get a sense of how this rainforest document is going to look. I'm going to choose this one in the upper left. And I just click Transform right here, this button, and watch. Now this has created a Sway web page, but look how beautiful this is. It's really nice. It's a full web page, interaction, all this beautiful motion, and I can go up here and edit. So if I want to click Edit, I'm in Microsoft Sway. Let's say I click on this picture and I want to make that really big. And I'm going to go back and click play. Now I've got a really big picture here. So it's pretty easy to modify your sway. Now, if I want to share this, I go to Edit. And if I go to the Share button up top, I can share this out broadly. So I can share with anyone. I can get a link right here that I can copy or generate. I can post it to Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. So it's great for students to be able to share broadly with the world these beautiful types of pages that they create.
So as you can see, there's so many uses for this. I want to go back to let me get out of this. I want to go back to our main Sway page. So we've looked at how to create a document, create from new, starting from a topic, and then using a document. Up here, you also have create new. Here are your help options. If you need tutorials or help videos, they're all there for you. I just want to give you a little walk around this homepage because there's so much great stuff here. So these are the ones I've been working on. Here are sways that we viewed, and then there's analytics. So if you are going to use this to push out content to your students, you can see how this is being consumed by them. It will show you the total views, the average time spent, the average completion. Did they go all the way through it? And then it'll even break it down. Was it a glanced at, a quick read, or a deep read? So it's really great feedback to know how what you've been putting out is being consumed. And then we always get that, oh my goodness, I deleted my project. Not in Sway. It kind of gets put to this last little deleted window, and it is not permanently deleted until you go through that final deletion process. So you really don't have to worry about students losing their work. So that is awesome. You have templates you can use from if you don't want to start from scratch. So you have newsletters, portfolios, projects, announcements, newsletters, presentations, blogs. There's so many here. So really take a look at them. That might be another great option for you. And again, here are some of those featured sways. So you can use these as examples to show your students what it might look like. And then to check it out, there may be some that you might just enjoy using for teaching. So there's a lot of great options here. If we go back to our sway that I created for you, I just want to walk through a couple more things that I think will be helpful for you. We looked at our templates. Here are some examples of how teachers are using sways to highlight what they're doing for professional development. For myself, I have to create a sway every year for my Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert Badge. So this is, I just clicked on the image. I was like, why is that not scrolling? Oh, go to the sway. Okay, here we go. Now we're moving. So these teachers used this to show their work and what they did. You know, who are we? What, you know, and then there are different points that they went through during this project and highlighted their certifications that they got, highlighted different things that they were working on. So it's a really great way to highlight your work. To give an example, you know, like I said, I've had to create sways for my job and to use it almost like a portfolio. So let's log. This is a screen through office.com. I'm going to go back here, show you again how to get in through Windows. I have it pinned. If you don't have it pinned, you can log in down here with Sway that way. There's really not a big difference other than the way that home screen is looked and formatted. So the other thing before we go, I want to look at sharing a sway. So if we go into, there's one more thing, and I'm just looking to see where I put it. See more. Let me go down here. The other great thing that I think it could be used for too for classroom use is making templates. So this is an example. Again, I use trees. So if you want to start teaching your kids how to put information together, here you can put the headings, create that, and then you can, you know, show that you expect 3 facts. You know, we're going to go through the different saplings, adult trees, fun facts, resources. And then what I wanted to show you was in here, you can duplicate this sway and send it out. You can also have settings. So you want to look at, if you're going to create it as a template, you want viewers and co-authors to be able to duplicate the sway. So what I mean by that is when they go over here and they see this template, when they go to the menu here, they can duplicate it. That way each student will have their own copy to then work off of, and they don't disturb that original master. I just want to show you some more options for sharing. Here you have where you can get a visual link. This is the Facebook. Now, if you're doing a project where the kids are going to work together, you want to make sure it's in edit mode and not just in view. So again, you just want to check your options, check your settings. You have more here, accessibility checker, accessibility view. Accessibility view is nice because it helps people who can't scroll, and it just makes it a clean presentation. I'll put that in accessibility view to show that to you. So it really just takes all that movement and just makes it clean and simple. We'll go back to our editing mode, and you can do a checker, the settings we looked at, and then you can export, go through those and set those the way that it would work best for you. I want to go and just show you one more thing in here before we take questions. I want to be respectful of everyone's time. So if we go back to play, I'm going to just try and do this quickly. I want to go back and show you the resources I put together for you so that when you leave here today, if you are part of the Microsoft Education Center, here is the code. I am going to embed this into our chat. So let me, there it goes. There we go. And I will show you what that is. For those of you that may not be familiar with the Microsoft Education Center, it is a free resource to teachers. All you need to do is create a profile using your email, and then here you'll see under your profile, redeem achievement code. And what that does is as you earn classes or take courses, like if you attend the ones today, you'll get credit for them. After 2 hours of coursework or 500 points, so every hour of coursework is worth 500 points. So that's why it's 2 hours or 1,000 points. You will get your Microsoft Innovative Educator Certificate. That will automatically show up in your portfolio. So there are all different ones. If you missed Skype this morning and you wanted to do Skype in the classroom and bring virtual field trips in for your kids this year, you could take a course on it in here. Sway, if you want more information, you want a refresher, it's there. So there's tons of information for you there. Let me go back here to your, hang on, where am I going? All right. Now that is not part of your CEUs for today. For the conference today, at the end of today's closing, you'll receive an email link for your attendance and feedback. This is the bit.ly. If you have questions, I've been directed to point you all to your CEUs for this conference. This is how they will be received. So the one I just showed you with that code is through Microsoft. This is through today's conference. These are the sponsors for today, and you have feedback towards the end. I am going to bounce back towards our meeting. Please feel free to ask any questions. Let me come off your microphone if that's easier for you, or you're welcome to type in the chat. Is there anything you'd like me to show you again? Anything I can help you with? I know we gave you a lot of information today. Yes.
Hey, this is Heather. Thank you for your presentation. I really appreciate it. The video that you just recorded of this presentation, can I get a link to that video? There's a few things that I wanted to go back and rewatch.
Absolutely. So the Microsoft Education link, I'll get that for you right now too. Yes, we're gonna record this, and then once all of my team videos get processed through our Microsoft Stream recording, our video platform, I will post the video there is a place that the conference has asked us to upload them to, but I'll see if they'll let me to post it where you entered this. So the Sway has been uploaded there, the where the link was, I'll see if they'll let me post it there as well.
Okay. And then the other thing is, there's a how-to for us as educators or just anybody doing it, but is there by chance a specific to students how to create a Sway that's out there?
Is there something specific? So there are a bunch of tutorials, and there are some really great, so one of the references I gave you is I have, let me pull it up for you and you can see what I'm talking about. I put together a OneNote document, and wait, I'm going to do it this way because I made a bit.ly for it so that you could access it without any issues. So I'm going to copy this bit.ly. I'm going to put this in here too. I've compiled, as I have started working for Microsoft and learning about the Microsoft products, I put together a OneNote, and this OneNote has a lot of resources in it, and you'll be able to find what you need there. I'm going to show it and open it for you so that you can see what I'm referring to. So here you'll see the Sway tab. It is a couple different Sway presentations. It has today's presentation in it. It has the How to Sway link. It also videos explaining Sway and interviews from the engineers. So you can go through, and depends on your students. Here is Sway help site. So you can go in and share things with your students depending on their ages too. So check out that OneNote and see if what you think might work for your students. If there's something specific you're looking for, I'm going to throw my email in here. If there's a specific resource, let me know, and I will see what I can get for you.
Okay.
If what's in that OneNote doesn't work for you. Any other questions? Oh, I use Moodle. I teach college classes to high school students. How easy it is to embed a Sway into, link into that or a web page. So a Sway is really just a link. So as long as you can embed a website link, you should be able to embed a Sway anywhere. I'm going to grab that Microsoft Education Center link. Let me get out of my profile so you have the right link. I'll put this in there too. Are there any other questions I can help with at this time? But definitely use the Sway. Go back in. Not only was that a presentation day, but it's a great resource for you. It'll really walk you through how to do it. And there's always great ideas out there. Check out the Sway help site. They have great suggestions for teachers too. I think one of the resources I put in there are like the top 10 uses for Sway. So you've got a bunch of different, Sway examples. Sometimes people use it for inking and annotating. They'll use snipping tools. So if there's something you want to do that you maybe just don't see, like Jennifer, I really want Sway to do this for me. Reach out to me, let me know. Sometimes I can find a workaround and come up with a solution like we did for inking and annotating on a Sway. So if students submit it and you want to ink and annotate, we figured out how to use the snipping tool to make that happen. So definitely don't hesitate to reach out. We'll find a solution for you. I'm so glad you liked today's presentation. I hope you got some great resources. It is really a fun tool. I was a little, nervous about using it myself at the beginning because I'm very A-type. I like my lines straight, but it's so easy to use. I think you're going to enjoy it. I'll stay on for the next couple minutes and answer questions, and just make myself available to that 10 of hour. And then I'm going to stop the recording now